Okay guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the pop-up editor. So from your dashboard, if you come down to Marketing Tools and go into List Builder Pro, you can edit one that you've already got by clicking the Edit Pop-up cog icon, or you can start here and you can click Create New. So I'm just going to go call this Test 3. You would run through your settings, make sure you've got all your settings as you want them, and then at the bottom here it will already have a pre-populated pop-up for you. And you can choose one of these pop-ups here as well if you like the look and style of one of these. They also give you a base from where you can start from. Now maybe you just want to make a few tweaks, like you might want to change the font, you might want to change this image, or you might want to change the words a little bit, or the color of the button here, whatever. You might just want to make a few tweaks, or you might want to delete this stuff and start over. So it's entirely up to you. Now there's a heck of a lot of options here. Too many for me to go through absolutely every detail, but I will show you the important things. And at the end of the day, you know, there's nothing terrible that you can do. So if you make a mistake or whatever, you can either come back to Marketing Tools here and just delete it and start over. You can repick a new template from here and it will just clear out what you've done down here. And if we scroll right to the bottom here, you've also got an undo and a redo tool as well, so you can just keep going back through your steps until where you were. So quick look around here. So this white area here is the canvas area. Within the canvas area we've got these here, which are elements which build up our pop-up, and then always on this side here you have your options and, you know, sort of kind of things you can do. We have a preview button down here, so you can preview it as you're working on it and see what it looks like. When you hit that preview button, you can also look to see how it looks on different devices as well. So you've got the tablet, you've got the mobile device. You can also click this drop down here and you can get even more precise with different types of photos as well. Okay, so let's go out of here. So, we're on mobile view. Let's go back to desktop view. So as we hover around on the canvas area, you can see that these elements kind of highlight with a box around them. If we then click them, we then also get our options as well of the edits and stuff that we can make. Okay, so we'll have a look at editing some of these things, or just tweaking a pre-made one, and then I'll just show you how you can drag stuff in and create stuff from scratch as well. So first of all, with the fonts, we get a few extra options at the bottom here. Just to make stuff bold, like we can bold out, we can italic, underscore, strike through, reduce the size a little bit, or add a hyperlink. Okay, so if you want to add a hyperlink, basically that's a clickable link. In fact, let me just back it up. If you want to add a hyperlink, let me just undo these. You would add your text, and then let's just put a new line. Click here to win. Okay, now you can either add all of your text, or let's just say we want to hyperlink these two words here. So maybe we could bold them like this, we could click our hyperlink, and then we would add our URL. Just grab, not Google, like this. So Google, we add our URL in like that. Okay, and then we can choose new tab or same tab. So if we choose new tab, that means it's going to pop open a new tab in the browser at the top. If we have it in the same tab, then it's going to redirect on this page. Okay, so it's entirely up whatever you want to do. I'm just going to leave it on new tab like that, and you can see there now we have a hyperlink in our. And let's just click our preview and see if our hyperlink actually works here. Yeah, there we go. You can actually test out your hyperlink. So I set it to open in a new tab. So as you can see, it pops it in a new tab. If I'd set it to do that here, be careful if you do that, because it will probably push you back out of the editor. So yeah, so additionally to these, you can also add emojis as well. If you want to add an emoji in there, you can do that. So additionally to these options, we have these options here on the right side, which will apply to everything that's in this container in most cases. So you can change the heading type. So if you want the heading tags on there for your SEO, you can do that. You can change the font family. So let's just go for this one. You can change the font size. Okay, we can change the font color. can use this color picker here to change the font color. Now you can use this slider here. This here is your transparency, so this is like how see-through it is. So if you want to tone a color down, you can. You can use this color picker here, this slider here, or we can add a hex code in here, or you can pick like a pre-made color from at the bottom here. So you've got lots of options to get your colors just right. Text align, so you can align it center or justify left and right, justify in the center. Line height, so line height is the gap in between your lines, so you can increase and decrease those. Links, you can inherit the body styles, or you can control the color of your links. So let's make them red like that, and let's make the hover color say green like that. So this should go green. Perhaps we need to preview it first. Oh, that one. There you go. So when I hover, it goes to green, so you can control the hover color of the text. Of the hyperlink, sorry, not the general text. That's only if you've got a hyperlink. So that back. Line height, padding. Yeah, so padding will be on most elements, and let's just drag this down to the bottom just so we can see if we can see what's happening. So padding will be like we've got the blue line here, which is the container, and the padding is kind of the space around the container. If it had no padding on, the text would be right up against the edges. Let's just see if we can do that. Okay, that's with no padding. And you can see, let's put that back to 10. That's with some padding all the way around. Now sometimes, in some cases, you want to increase the space, say between this text and that button. And you can do that by adjusting the top pad in there. Now basically push this down, so we've now got 33 pixel gap in between the text and the top of that container there. So let's just pop this back to 10. So you can use this to position your stuff a lot better as well. Then we've got hide on desktop, so if you don't want to see it on desktop, you don't have to. And you can do that with certain elements as well. So sometimes you know, you might want something to show on desktop but not mobile. Now the other thing we can do, if we drag this up here, also sometimes like let's say for this one, particularly headings and stuff, sometimes, let's go to mobile, sometimes this may look way too big on mobile, but it might look great on desktop. Now we can actually adjust it only for mobile. So you can see here it says you are currently editing for mobile devices. So let's say for this one here, we will decrease the font size right down. We'll center justify it, and let's make it bold just so hopefully we can see the difference a lot clearer. Okay, and then let's go back to desktop. Okay, so it has bolded it for both. So let's just unbold it. But the size option is much smaller on mobile. You can see it fits across one line and it is centered as well. Okay, so if you want to adjust things specifically for mobile and desktop, you can do that as well by clicking the mobile option. Just remember that you're only editing for mobile. So images as well. Here you could change out that image. Simply just either click upload image here, or drag and drop over here, and it will replace that image if you want to do that. Again, you could auto width, I'd probably leave that on. You can align it. The alternate text, if you're into SEO, this will help if you put some information here about that, you know, win a free thing or whatever. You can also make your images clickable. Again, you can add your URL in there. Option to open it in a new tab, and then you've got your padding and hide on desktop down here. So a lot of the options are the same for different things. You can also delete from here or duplicate as well, and you can do that for any element that's on the canvas area as well. So you can just go ahead and hit duplicate if you want to duplicate stuff. It's a quick way to say create a new block of text or something like that. You can quickly just do that. Oops. share your details. Okay, let's center align it. Let's bring that right down. Okay, now I would be a little bit more creative with that. Let's go more options here, and let's set our top to 0 so it gets it nice and close to the bottom of that button. There we go. Okay, so let's get rid of this image that we duplicated, delete that. So you know, that's kind of editing. Oh no, we got the opt-in box here as well. Let's click the opt-in box to show you the options we got for that. So like I say, you know, there are too many options for me to cover everything, but it's really as easy as just clicking an element on here and then playing with the settings over here. So the fields are where we enter our stuff in, our details. So at the moment, this is just collecting email only. You can add a new field if you want. So let's say we want the name as well. And then you can also click in here, and this will give you some more options. Here you can change it, the field type here, if you need to. We don't need to. Field name, you don't need to edit. The show label here, this will, in fact, let me put here, let me put placeholder so we can see the difference. Label, there we go. Required field is if it's forced, so it means they have to fill that in. Let's go ahead and click update. So you can see the label is there, the placeholder is there. Okay, now let's click back in. This would be name, but I made it label so that you can see where it appears. And you can put, please type your name here. Click update field. You can see that is the label above. Okay, now tidy up to you if you want it. They look a lot neater and tidier without that label showing. And here it says enter email here, please type your name here. So you can add the instructions actually right within. So let's go ahead and go in here and let's uncheck that, click update. Auto width, I would leave that on. That means it will size itself. Space between fields, you can increase or decrease the gap. Font size, the color. Okay, let's change it to purple. Oh, sorry, that's for the labels. Sorry, guys. Yep. Then we got our button. Change the color of our button. Okay, the text, the background color, whatever you want. Just go through those settings. Auto width. Then you've got the padding again. Hide on desktop. You've also got the mobile and desktop version to edit as well. Okay, so that is now editing stuff that's already on there. Now we can also add new stuff as well. So here we've got columns, and by the way, if you're editing like this, you can either click the X up here, or you can click on the canvas area down here, and it will bring these up as well. So we've got columns, button, divider, text, heading, image, timer. You can start with columns, drag those in. This is essentially creating us a new section, and you can choose how many columns you've got. So columns is, here we've got one section with 2 columns, so let's go 3. So you can see we've now got 3 columns here in this section, and let's just go ahead, duplicate this image, drag it down here, like that, and you can see more clearly there's 3 columns there. So let's click in this empty area here, and then let's delete this guy here for a second. Okay, let's go ahead, add a button in. Okay, again, you've got all the button controls here, just like we looked at a minute ago. You can add a divider in. Okay, just basically just grab and drag any of these things across as you want. Image, just like that. Text. Okay. Now let's say let's put that text back. Just grab a column. Now maybe that you want the text to come in like that. Okay, so then we've got one column at the top, 3 at the bottom. You can add a timer, just drag, drop. let it go. So if you want to do some time sensitive stuff, you can. Again, you've got all your options here. Okay, you've got your time zones, your fonts. Okay, just run through those settings and play around with it. Then you've got your body controls here. So this will control your background. So if you want to do a background color, here's the place to do that. So if you want to set the overall thing to whatever color you want, you can add a background image. So if you just want a huge image on the background, you can do that. Content width, this will set the size of the pop-up box. I recommend you probably leave it on 640. That's an optimal size for these. And then right down here you've got your links section as well. So it's a case of just coming in, having a mess around with it. If you're new to it, what I recommend you do is just go ahead, pick one of these and just click on these elements here and just have a mess around with the settings, make a few changes, and it really is point and click, really straightforward to use. And remember, if you make any mistakes, use your undo button. If you really make some mistakes, then if you choose another one of these, it will just wipe everything out and it will start again, and you can start from afresh that way. You can go back here, click that guy, or you can come right back to marketing tools here and you can go right back into it and you can completely start over again. Okay, thanks guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.